So the internet is a place you can make $54,000 a year. Talking about peanut butter. It's mind-boggling. I started my first company when I was 19 years old, working with physicians. In the early 2000s, I became one of the first certified HIPAA privacy and security specialists. I traveled all over the Southeast teaching HIPAA in daily practice. Over the next few years, I built a multi-million-dollar business. My team worked with hospitals, local and state governments. We even worked with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It was great. Couldn't ask for it to be any better. And then the recession of 2007 hit. How many of y'all remember that? I went from doing really well to not doing anything. So I was broke, but I was determined not to give up. So I used the internet to build my brand better and stronger than ever. You see, utilizing the internet, it's easier than ever before to be seen as the expert in your field. Whether you're a plastic surgeon or a pediatrician or just a mom talking about peanut butter. You no longer have to worry about what Joe's cousin thinks about you. Look at my 5-star reviews. I must be the expert. Read my blog post. Watch my YouTube videos. Listen to my podcast, my interviews. I absolutely must be the expert. Again, I'm Robert Martin, owner of Purple Tie Guys. I'm a certified Google partner. My company's been recognized as a top healthcare agency of 2019. And I'm the marketing advisor for SMA. Why is that white? Did I click back? Am I missing one? There we go. Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties. So today we're going to discuss marketing and promoting your practice. Our topics are going to include why you need a website. This is why I need you to be open-minded about this. Google search, search engine marketing, pay-per-click advertising, reviews. Why are they important and how do we get them? How do we get more of them? Search engine optimization, smartphones, and how they are changing the internet as we know it and how they affect the way we do business. Then we're going to touch social media marketing, and I'll open up the floor to some Q&A after that. So let's talk about your website for a minute. Show of hands, how many has a website? Okay. How many of you have absolutely no idea why you have a website? That's awesome. So 73% of consumers use search engines to do research on treatments. 60% of patients say that they would be open to a virtual doctor's visit. You sit in front of a computer screen, they sit in front of a computer screen, you have this little virtual appointment. 60% of people said they'd be open to that. 38% of people will stop engaging with a website if it is unattractive. How many have an ugly website? Anybody? Nobody admits it. It's okay. It's really okay. So everyone should have a key that was given to you before you came in or as you came in. There are action steps on this key. This is the first one. There's a podcast on there all about how to start a website. Now, if you're an SMA member, they make it really, really easy. So keep that in mind. So here's why it's important. It's the only thing in your practice that works 24/7, 365. It never complains, never asks for a day off, and rarely does it ask for a pay raise. It validates the practice. 48% of people said that a website's design is the number one factor in deciding the credibility of a business. That's insane. A visitor only takes 50 milliseconds to make a decision about your website. So, you got a second to catch their attention. The internet moves super fast. 50 milliseconds. Once a visitor comes to your website, 86% of the time, they want more information about your services. Your website should be a patient portal for learning. So, the most important thing your website can do for you is have a way to communicate with you. Something other than just a telephone number. 64% of visitors want to see contact information on the first page. They want to see a chat form, contact form. Now, I will say, how many of you have a contact form on your website? Anybody? Maybe? So you got that big block at the bottom for someone to type in. They will give you their life story. There's no need for that. And they put in all types of personally identifiable health information, stuff like that. It's just a big security. Here's my suggestion. You have a drop-down list, and you say, I want the doctor to call me back. I want the nurse to call me back. I want to know more information about this procedure. But don't give them the option to tell you their life story, because they will. How many of you actually have reviews on your website? Good reviews. So you have a captive audience. Why not put your best reviews, best foot forward on your website? Before and after sections. Now, I know Dr. Cotter does this, and I have a bariatric surgeon that does it. Before and after photos. New patient forms. Frequently asked questions. What does my procedure entail? How long am I going to be there? How long am I going to be down? This is also a great place for your HIPAA privacy and security information. So now, most of us have a website. But now what? Well, we got to get it found. And this is where search engines can be your friend, your best friend, or an enemy. When I say just Google it, show of hands, how many people know what I'm talking about? How many times has your kids gone up to you and go, Mom, just Google it? Right? It's like a term now. So there's over 66,000 searches a second on Google alone. Not including Bing and Yahoo and all that. That's just Google. Everything from entertainment to healthcare is just Googled. 75% of those happen right here on the smartphone. Now, we're going to cover how this is affecting marketing, but I really wanted to see just how is this changing the way we do business. So, I want to tell you a little story. When I was a kid, my parents would take the phone book, drag it out, open it up. Everybody was listed in alphabetical order. There were no reviews. You just hope you pick the right doctor. You ask your friends, you ask your family, do you know him? Have you heard of him? You hope somebody knew something about him. But now, I ask the internet, and more so I ask Google. See, Google is your largest referral partner you will ever have. You can be the best doctor in the world and have other doctors that love and adore you, but they cannot make a dent in that 66,000 searches. And so I want to take a minute to explain this search engine result page. So when you do a search in Google, you come back with this result page. What is it? How does it work? So the first thing up here, highlighted in red, is your ad, right? Google Ads, everybody seen that, heard of it, played with it? I don't suggest playing with it, but it is a tool that is there. Now this is Google's pay to play section, and it's the only way to shortcut your way to the top of the Google search results. Okay? Second is the map pack. Now, this has really become the new phone book. This is where, if I need something, this is where I'm going to go. It's got reviews, it's got your business information, telephone number, what time you're open, what time you close, things like that. And then follow that up with organic search. Now, 90% of your buying decisions happen right here. Anybody got a clue why? Because this is where research happens, right? If I want a nose job or breast reduction, this is where I'm going to go and do my research. Not something I need right away. So I have time to do that. Now, we'll talk here in just a minute about how, I call this Google's top 10. Everybody wants to be in the top 10 of something, right? So why not make it Google? So while we're talking about each section, I want to break those down. Let's talk about PayPerClick. There's a dirty little truth behind PayPerClick that Google won't tell you. They've got so many different kinds of ads. They've got Google ads, Google guaranteed businesses, map ads, local ads, image ads, out of network, in network. I mean, it's just insane. Then, on top of all the confusion, they have 2 different types of ad accounts. How do they expect you to keep up with that? So you have a standard account and you have an express account. Your standard account gives you some demographics, right? Keywords, zip codes, who you want to show it to, stuff like that. The express account, nothing. You throw money. It's like walking in with a fistful of business cards, throwing it, hope someone picks one up off the floor. It's the worst form of advertising possible. So, here's another dirty little secret. Most people avoid them because they know you bought your way to the top. But how many? How about 82%? So out of all those 66,000 searches, you're getting less than 20%. Those are the odds are stacked against the house, right? With the house. The house always wins in this. And it's just the truth. Here's another dirty little secret. Miss Betty, right? She's been your patient forever. Miss Betty loves you. Searches for your practice. Pops the ad. She just needs your phone number. So she clicks your ad. Did it cost you money? Right? Everyone costs you money, right? Google doesn't care where that click came from. They just care that they got it. It's money in their pocket. Now, we're going to talk about how to fix this, right? Because the fix is fairly simple. Well, it's kind of simple. So, be amazed how dry mouth happens up here. So let's talk about how to fix it. And this is what we do. We talk about local search whenever we talk about fixing this. So, local search is when you search for a specialty, like plastic surgeon, Birmingham, Alabama, pediatrician near me. Those are all local searches. Now, I want to talk about that listing, right? This is really the only listing that Google gives you that is free. It's the only thing Google gives you that you have some control over. It's a repository for reviews, and it's where people find quick information about your business. Are you open? Are you closed? What time? What phone number? So let's dive into this a little bit closer. I know Carol's here somewhere. So this is your second action step. On the key that everyone should have, there's a video that will walk you step by step through the process of claiming this listing if you haven't already. Where it says suggest and edit right now, it will say, do you own this business? and you click that and you follow the steps on the video and it'll walk you straight through that. So there's a big reason this is important. I want to tell you why. So an immigrant from Italy came over, started a restaurant. It was wildly successful. Had the best pasta, best service, best everything. Friday and Saturday nights, man, they had people lined up out the door. One of his competitors got tired of it. He didn't know anything about the internet. So he went and marked them closed on Saturday. Guess what that did? Cut his traffic in half. Pretty soon, he couldn't afford to pay his staff, couldn't afford to pay his bills. All of a sudden, he's out of business. That's why it's important to have someone check this periodically. Doesn't have to be you. Be a staff member. Could be someone you hire. Just check it. Make sure that the information's right. Make sure somebody hasn't gone and marked you closed. Make sure someone manages it for you. So this is probably my favorite part. Talk about reviews. Everybody loves a good review. If you ever go to Amazon and read the 1-star reviews, they're so amazing. So everyone wants to read the bad reviews first though, right? So having no reviews is pretty bad for the practice. But a bad review can absolutely destroy your business, and in a hurry. So let's talk about online reviews for just a second. So how important, right? I talked about this time that you went to the phone book, you flopped the phone book open, you went and looked at the doctor. There were no reviews. But how important are they? 84% of people say that they trust an online review as much as a close personal friend telling them, hey, this doctor is worth going and seeing. Dr. Cotter did an amazing job, right? So 40% of people say that they read online reviews before choosing a doctor. Okay? So, and we'll talk about this because I want to expand on this with needs versus wants and why this is really important. So just know that reviews are absolutely important. Good reviews are even more important. So here's an example. I searched for urgent care in Birmingham. I got some decent stuff back. 3.9, 3.3. It's okay. But I think I'm dying. Right? So I don't want okay. So I tell Google, I want the best urgent care. So let's see what Google did. Look what happened. If you got below a 4-star rating, Google took you out of those results. Notice how my results changed. Not one of those that were up there before are up there now. So again, remember that Google is your largest referral partner. Having good reviews in Google is absolutely key. And now I want to talk about getting reviews. So this is also an action step that's on the key. There's a podcast that talks all about how to get reviews, how to get Google reviews. Now done right, you can actually guide these reviews to whatever platform you want to. How many of you have a Facebook page? How many of you use it on a daily basis? Not nearly as many hands. Okay? So what happens when, remember Miss Betty? Well, she came to see you. Let's say you just really upset Miss Betty. She went and left you a 1-star review on Facebook. You are the worst doctor ever. Now, deep down inside, you're probably really happy that you'll never have to see Miss Betty again. However, her review is going to be awful for you. So if you do this right, remember your website, you can direct another good review. So let's say they're going to leave you a 5-star review. You can send that wherever you want it. Facebook, Google, Yelp, vitals.com. There's, so many places to leave reviews. So, remember Google's top 10? That was top 10. Let's talk a little bit about how to get in that top 10. So, what do you need before you refer to another doctor? Right, say a diagnosis, that's the wrong answer. So, before you refer to another doctor, what do you need to do? You need to trust that other doctor, right? So that's what Google wants. Google wants to see trust, right? So how do we build trust with Google? Okay? You have to prove that you're the expert in your field, right? Remember when I opened the lecture? I said, read my blog post, listen to my podcast. I must be the expert. I have all this content that proves it, right? That's what we have to show Google. I'm the definitive expert when it comes to plastic surgery or kids. I'm a pediatrician. You need to be a resource for these search engines. Remember, 90% of the people go to do research. They need to be able to find what they are asking, what they're researching for, right? The Mayo Clinic. Everybody here's heard of the Mayo Clinic. Everybody's heard of the Mayo Clinic. They have 300 episodes of a podcast. Guess how many downloads it's got? Millions. 300 episodes, that's it. That's nothing. It's less than one a day for a year. They've been doing this a little while. So you have to earn trust from others. So think of it as like if the hospital says, hey, Dr. Cotter is amazing, or Dr. Sauer is the best person to help you with that. If a hospital refers you to a doctor, you're probably going to go see that doctor, right? So let's talk about smartphones. I promised I would get to this. I'm just going to touch this briefly because my clicker isn't working. Technical difficulties. You want to just... Okay. I'd be the one to break it. That's what it is. That works. So let's talk about the smartphone. I carry it everywhere, right? Y'all do too. Who here doesn't have a smartphone on them? See, no hands. I'm holding more computing power in the palm of my hand than Ronald Reagan had to run the free world. I carry the internet everywhere. There are 12-year-olds with smartphones. Let's sink in for a minute. There's entire studies dedicated to smartphone addiction and anxiety. There's a company that actually makes a little plastic brick about the size of an iPhone to help you overcome the fear of being without your phone. It's called the No Phone. I can't make this up. It's $14.99 on Amazon. So, mobile devices made up 42% of all time spent online. Nearly half on this tiny screen. I don't even see that good, but I spend a lot of time on my phone. And that was a 2018 statistic. I'm sure this year is probably a little more. So, 58% of all website visits came from a smartphone. So over half of your traffic comes from a smartphone. So let me ask this. Since we know that 58% of people that came to your website come on a smartphone, has it ever been easier than now to market in the palm of their hand? Right? So on your way here, let me ask, how many people nearly got run over because somebody was playing on their phone going down 280 or, 65 at 90 miles an hour and Facebooking, right? So with voice searching and the internet, like the introduction of Apple, Google, Amazon's Alexa, right? Find me a good doctor. It's making your internet marketing more important than ever, right? So I want to show you how that works. Hey, curious. Hand surgery, Birmingham, Alabama.
I found one option, Birmingham Hand and Plastic Surgery on 10th Avenue South. Do you want that one?
Yes.
Okay. I can call or get directions. Just tell me what you'd like to do.
Call.
Calling Birmingham Hand and Plastic Surgery.
So by 2020, which is right around the corner, half of all searches are going to be voice searches. How many of you know if what you have now is ready for that? Anybody? Like when I search for a hand surgeon in Birmingham, do I find you? Do I find, if I search plastic surgery, do I find Dr. Carter or Cotter? Do I find, Dr. Sauer? Like, who do I find? Are you even in the rank to get there? Does Google even know you exist whenever it's a voice search? Now, I don't have time to show this off. I wish I did. So kind of homework, go to YouTube and Google Duplex. It is amazing. It is an AI that you go, hey, you know who? Maybe an appointment with Dr. Sauer, Tuesday at 4 o'clock. It will pick up the phone, call Dr. Sauer's office, and say, hey, I'd like an appointment at Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Oh, I don't have that available. I have a Thursday at 3. Would that work? Check your calendar and make sure you're open. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, great, thanks. The example they have is it's making a hair appointment, but doctor's appointment is right around the corner, right? So that brings me to social media marketing. Now, this is made up of a lot of smaller pieces. We've already determined that some of y'all have Facebook pages and you use them on a daily basis. Here's something to be really mindful of. Each one of those platforms have the ability to run ads, right? So you can spend money with them. Again, pay to play. And that's kind of the way the internet as a whole is going. So let's dive into social media marketing. This slide's going to give me a break. That's not all of them. That's just all I can fit on one slide. There's still more. So there's so many. So my suggestion is pick no more than you're willing to keep up with. And here's why that is important. Randy, if I go to Facebook and I look at, SMA's Facebook page, let's say you're really active from 2016 to 2017, and then you just stop keeping up with it. What's the first thing that runs through my mind? Are they still doing this thing? Right? Are they still around? Like their numbers still good? Are they still doing? So pick as many as you're willing to keep up with. I wouldn't do any more than 2, right? That's my personal preference. The 2 biggies right now are Facebook and Instagram. These are the 4 we're going to go over. Okay? 41% of people say that social media would impact their choice of a hospital or treatment center. Right? Like if I got something I need a hospital for, social media wouldn't be the first place I went. But apparently 41% say that it would affect their decision. So I want to look at each one individually. So the first one is Facebook. 68% of Americans have a Facebook account. Not to mention all around the globe, right? Other countries. 74% visit Facebook every single day. Some of them multiple times a day. 96% of Facebook users access it from their smartphones. Again, marketing in the palm of their hand. Super duper easy. So Facebook's average cost per click, or what we consider a cost per conversion, is $1.72. It's cheaper than a billboard. Nobody looking at a billboard. We just talked about how many people nearly died on their way here. Right? So here's the danger of that. So just like Google and everybody else, let's say they don't want to play with you anymore. They're tired of messing with you. I've seen entire ad accounts shut down. I've seen people hire the Facebook ninja. Man, that makes me mad. Or the Facebook guru. They managed to get their ad account shut down. You're done. You can't advertise on Facebook anymore. So if they want to pick up their toys and leave and go play somewhere else, they can. So that's the danger of Facebook. Now, I know we talked about LinkedIn a little while ago over lunch. LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. There are 177 million U.S. users on LinkedIn. There are over 2 million doctors and nurses on LinkedIn. 50% of Americans with a college degree use LinkedIn. 80% of business-to-business, like social. Who remembers back in the day, a bunch of doctors would get together in a room like this, and they'd rub shoulders. They'd be like, I really like you. Suddenly you're getting referrals from the doc that you met at this event. No. That's happening online now. It's happening on LinkedIn. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, now it's time to get one. So LinkedIn is a business-to-business gold mine, right, for anyone. Doctors, my business, your business, it's gold mine. So let's talk about the new kid on the block. This is LinkedIn's #1 competitor. How many of y'all have heard of Instagram? How many of you use Instagram? Okay, for the ones who didn't raise your hand, shame on you. So I'm kidding. So Instagram is owned by Facebook. So when you run an ad on Instagram, you can actually run it on Facebook as well. And it's all one platform, right? And so it makes it super duper easy. There are 1 billion monthly active users on Instagram. 1 billion. It's the fastest growing social media network in the US. It also makes up 25% of Facebook's entire ad revenue. 25%. I just read an article about teens and young adults who are abandoning Facebook in groves to go to Instagram. It's all about pictures and videos, and that's where their friends hang out. They want to see their friends, right? So we absolutely need to look at Instagram as a form of marketing. Now, the last, but certainly not least, YouTube. We're streaming this event live on YouTube right now. Right? I had to double check that. But we're live on YouTube right now. You can go to YouTube and watch this event. 79% of internet users have a YouTube account. Smartphones are becoming the new TV. How many of you have run television ads? Nobody? Up to, okay, I got a couple. So smartphones are the new television. I have a friend of mine, he's 25 years old. He spends 2 hours a day. Yeah, yes, I saw that face. 2 hours a day on YouTube watching stupid stuff. Or educational videos. I mean, they're all on there. It's where 37% of internet traffic goes. All internet traffic. 37% goes to YouTube. 90% of users say that they find new products and services on YouTube. And I actually expect YouTube to surpass Google as the #1 search engine. Right? What better way to do my research? Hey, this doc has done a bunch of YouTube videos all about the nose job I'm looking at or the breast augmentation I'm looking at. They don't even have to read. America's lazy. We would rather watch videos than read about it. So YouTube is absolutely going to out surpass Google soon. So I know I have thrown a bunch of information very quickly. So if y'all remember the key that I gave you in the beginning, there is a ton of resources on there. Podcasts, YouTube videos. Blake, is there a blog post on there too? He's nodding. So blog post. So remember when I opened this lecture, I said, read my blog post, watch my YouTube videos, right? Listen to my podcast. I absolutely must be the expert. So my question is, what are you doing today to be the expert in your field? Now I'll open up for some Q&A now.